Hey guys, what's up? Back with Snowtime Productions. Have you ever thought about importing a Japanese domestic car over into Canada? Well, today we're going to go through a full breakdown of what it's like from start to finish. It's a more simplified version, but if you want, I can make another video going into more detail about which legalities and logistics need to be done. But for today, we're just going to cover a pretty in-depth but brief overview of what it takes to actually bring start to finish a car like a Nissan Skyline or a Nissan Silvia or a Toyota MR2 into Canada. Let's get into it. So first things first, there's a 15-year rule here in Canada. That means 15 years from manufacture date, not the year of the car. So anything that was made prior to the month we're in right now, to 2010, I'm shooting this in July 2025. So anything made before then is fair game. You can import it over, get it here. In the States, it's 25 years. So we're a little more lucky here. There are some exceptions to this rule, but about 99% aren't going to make those exceptions. So that's why you see R34s, key vans. You see a whole bunch being brought in now because the R34s just hit their mark recently. So a lot of people are starting to bring them in now. Obviously, the next part is choosing your car, figuring out which car you want. The big problem with that is if you buy a $10,000 car in Japan and you want it shipped over, that means that you're also going to have to pay broker fees, inspection costs, shipping, customs, all those take into account. So a $10,000 car could be upwards of $15,000, $16,000, sometimes even $25,000. Now you're going to take that into account because if you're looking at a $30,000 car and you need repairs and you need customs and you need shipping and you need all this, it's usually a percentage fee. So you're actually looking at a way higher value than the original cost that you see at the auction. And so now that you've picked out a car, you've picked out your dream car. This is the one, you're going to import it in. It's going to be sick. You're going to get it done up. You're going to take it to shows. People are going to be in awe of your Japanese right-hand drive car. Hold your horses, because now there's a whole bunch of steps that you have to go through to get this vehicle over to Canada. The next thing is, do you speak Japanese? Because if you don't speak Japanese, you're going to have to go through a broker. And a broker is basically someone or a company who reaches out and they deal directly with the paperwork involved. They deal directly with communicating with the auction about what's going on and how you're going to get your car. They also deal with the inspection in Japan before they get it shipped over to Canada or the States if that's where you're from. A few of these brokers in Canada are RightDrive, Brave Auto, and JDM Expo. They're all pretty good companies, and there are quite a few others, but make sure that you do some reviews and some homework before you go ahead and give them your money, because this is going to be a process. Now you can also check a couple sites like Goo-Net and a few other sites, and then you can find the listings yourself and then pass it along to a broker. And from there, the broker is able to help you find either an equivalent model of that around the same price point, or they can just actually go and get that car that you found on that website. So once you've found your car, woo, you purchased it. Now it's going to come over on row, which is roll on, roll off, or it's going to come over in a shipping container, depending on which one you pick, and price point may vary. Most of these ships are coming to Montreal, Halifax, or Vancouver, and they take around 4 to 6 weeks to arrive in Canada. So be in mind of that. Like I said, this is going to be a process. It's going to take a while to get that dream car you want. When it comes to the shipping as well, your broker is going to give you an estimated time and probably a tracking. That's great. Keep a couple hundred aside because you might need them for port fees or anything that comes up when it does arrive in Canada for customs as well. On the note of customs, when it does land in Canada, you're going to have to pay GST. You're also going to have to pay some custom fees and just standard importing anything really into Canada from another country. It comes with its own barriers, and it's the same as if you cross the border and you bring back a bunch of shopping stuff that you can't declare. You have to pay the tax on it. So now that your car is here, woo, it's in Canada. Awesome, good for you. You've paid everything, you're up, you're ready. Now you need to get it safetied and registered. Depending on your province, that may change. Here in Ontario, you need to have it safetied. You need to have an emissions test done, which you could get away with if it's old enough. Sometimes they'll allow you to bypass that. And then you need to go over to Service Ontario where you need to get it registered and get your license plate. Some other things to consider is it is now a Japanese domestic import, meaning if something breaks on it and you don't have a nearby local Japanese domestic import part shop, it could take weeks to get a part out. So keep that in mind. Now you also might have to pay storage fees if you're late to pick it up from the port. All in all, probably about have 2,000 just ready as a cushion, just in case you do need fees from start to finish. That's one of the main things. And then another thing is sometimes you do need to have the headlights swapped out because they might be aimed incorrectly compared to Ontario standards or Canada standards, depending on your province. So that's the end of the video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, drop a comment, like, subscribe. And yeah, my next video will probably be the top Japanese domestic cars under $15,000. So stay tuned for that. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.